In this video, we're going to look at multiplying and dividing fractions or rational numbers. First, let's practice changing numbers from mixed numbers to improper fractions. A mixed number is a whole number with a fraction. An improper fraction is a fraction with a larger number on top than on bottom. So, first of all, it's going to stay negative because the negative's in front. 2 times 4 is 8 plus 3 is 11. So this turns into negative 11 over 4. This one is a mixed number, or excuse me, an improper fraction, and we're going to change it to a mixed number. It is larger on top, so it's going to stay negative. You're going to take 8 and divide it into 29. It goes in 3 times. 3 times 8 is 24, and when you subtract, you have a remainder of 5. That remainder goes on top. So this stays negative. We would have 3 whole numbers and then 5 left over 8. So now let's talk about multiplying. You've learned before that you multiply the numerators, put that on top. Multiply the cross on the denominators, put that on bottom. You always want to make sure your answer is in lowest terms if it can reduce. If there are any common factors, you do have to reduce it and simplify your answer. Let's try this one. 3 times negative 5 is negative 15. 8 times 11 is 88. Now you want to look at this and see if they have any common factors. The only factors of 15 are 3 and 5, and neither one of those will go into 88, so this will not reduce. On this one, we have negative 2/3 times negative 9/4. This is another way of writing multiply here. Okay, negative times negative makes it positive. 2 times 9 is 18. 3 times 4 is 12. Now, if you look at this, this will reduce. The largest number that goes into both of them is 6. 18 divided by 6 is 3, and 12 divided by 6 is 2. So in lowest terms, this would be 3/2. Because that is improper, the larger numbers on top, you can divide the bottom into the top, make that a mixed number. 2 goes into 3 one time with 1 left over, so it'd be 1 1/2. On this one, we need to change it to improper fractions before we multiply. So we're going to have a negative. 3 times 3 is 9 plus 2 is 11. So this turns into negative 11. That should be thirds. They have a typo on their notes there, so let's change that to a 3. Here, 1 times 4 is 4 plus 1 is 5, so that changes to 5/4. Now we multiply. Negative 11 times 5 is negative 55. 3 times 4 is 12. And then we want to see if there are any numbers, any factors that will go into both of these. 55 is 5 times 11, and 5 or 11, neither one of those go into 12. So this won't reduce. You can leave it improper, or you can make it into a mixed number. 12 goes into 55 4 times with 7 left over. Now for division, remember what you learned in middle school. Keep it, change it, flip it. So you keep the first fraction, change the division to multiplication, and flip the second fraction. Once you do that, you just multiply like we've done in the last few examples. So we're going to keep the 4/5, change the division to multiplication, and take negative 1/10 and flip it. So we're going to make that negative 10 over 1. Now we multiply. 4 times negative 10 is negative 40. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 goes into both of these. Actually, 5 goes into 40 evenly. So you end up with negative 8 with no remainder. On this one, we have negative 3/5 divided by 7 over 11. So we're going to change that to negative 3/5 times 11 over 7. Negative 3 times 11 is a negative 33. 5 times 7 is 35. There are no common factors with 33 and 35, so that one will not reduce. It is in lowest terms. And on this one, we need to make it into a mixed number, or from a mixed number to an improper fraction before we change it. 4 times 4 is 16 plus 3 is 19. So this would be negative 19/4 divided by 1 times 2 is 2 plus 1 is 3. So that would be negative 3/2. Keep the first fraction, change division to multiplication, flip the second fraction. Okay, now we multiply. Negative 19 times negative 2 is a positive 38. 4 times 3 is 12. These do have a common factor. 2 goes into both of those. 2 goes into 38 19 times. 2 goes into 12 6 times. Now this is improper. We can make it into a mixed number though because it's bigger on top. 6 goes into 19 3 times with 1 left over. So it would be 3 and 1 6. Keep in mind that you can use a calculator in this class. So it would definitely be wise to make sure you know how to use your calculator well. There's a video where I talk about that. You should also type your calculator, whatever type it is, into YouTube or Google and make sure you know all the tricks that go with how to use it. It can be very helpful. You do need to know how to do this, but you could definitely use that calculator to check your answers and make sure you're correct.